Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever. Hopefully you're having a good day at work before maybe you're watching it then. Maybe you can ready to just get off. Hi, hope you had a great day. Hopefully you might find some time to go ahead on and relax. So you don't be a burden to anybody else that's around you like a leech. Now that we have that out of the way, let's bring into what this is going to be about. I have a few bullet points. I'm going to go ahead on and do some of that. Well, actually, I have three, four, five bullets. So, and maybe six and seven total. So let's get into that. So the very first one, I want to open and close it with Jesus Christ's name. So there we said that. Christ Jesus is good if nobody else is. If you're not following him, this is not the channel for you. Most likely, if you want to join and do whatever else and you're procrastinating, this isn't for you. So, yeah, now that that's out of the way, um, we can move on and move forward. And so today's GTT, which everybody should know by now, is Glow Ticket Topic. Okay. Specific tips today is going to revolve around therapy. And when I say therapy, I mean just having a positive mental state of mind. It's a PMA. That's really ultimately all that it is. If you can do that, then you probably are um, not going to have as many difficulties in the long run as others may deem fit. And now that you have that persona and that whatever is taking place in everybody else's ideas, then you can learn how to express yourself. And you can't just express yourself because somebody else is telling you whatever the color is green is blue. Okay, that's definitely a bit of a like annoyance. Let's just call it what it is. So I had attended some online event from Kaiser Permanente. If nobody is aware of whatever that is, then you're sadly behind. And so I'm not even going to explain what that is. It's not even worth my time. So Kaiser Permanente held a webinar and they were dealing with that plus Calm. Calm is the app. Kaiser Permanente is a medical institution for the dummies in the back. And so I'm just gonna be blunt. I'm not about to waste no more time with nobody else's feelings, trying to tread lightly. This is not the season for that. That's not the era we in. We in a blunt, frank, you dumb. You need to go and research and get up off my live. So that's where we're gonna head. To everybody else that's saying all the things that y'all were saying, this was specifically just aimed at said such entities. So this particular person had a problem. So he was on there. He could not figure out how to get around his suicidal attempts. So some of the suicidal attempts, I'm guessing, are from those dummies who reside in the back, who won't speak up, who won't choose to go ahead on and educate for everybody's own well-being. So you fall to the wayside, and now you have to deal with the pressures that has created. And so now, as you do those things, you want to go and talk to somebody, or you want to try and smoke a blunt, or you want to try and go and do the next manifestation craze and trend, yada, 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 yada. Okay. And you do these things in the hope as to change your life, but as a shortcut. You don't want to put in the work. Like I said, we lazy. Basically, we lazy, we dumb, we don't have any ambition. We lack ambition. We don't want to figure out how to do things. So again, this isn't for you. You could just go ahead on and move on about your business. Thank you in advance for that. And so I am so into having moments where I'm figuring out how things are better. And that's where I am. Now, if everybody else can't get with that, you can go ahead about your business. That's just how we're going to have to learn how to lead. That's just what it is at this point in time. Okay, I'm done beating around the bush with everybody's for the sake of they. No, that's out. That's going out the window. If you see it over there, good. That's where it's at. Okay, so Kaiser Permanente is really like a strong leader in mental health. Mental health, they are just leading the way through and through, and that's just what they do. If you need some help, go and Google, and they have plenty of opportunities and options for us to figure things out. Okay, that's what you need to do. The Calm app is also quite useful as well. It works for your iPad, iPhones, whatever device that you have. And please subscribe. If that's something that y'all want to go ahead on and learn more about, subscribe and follow Kaiser Permanente. If you want to go on there, subscribe to there. Subscribe to Calm too as well. Being hopeful is usually what Kaiser Permanente masters. They are such leaders in being able to do this thing. That's why they really are how they are and who they are. So having someone is helpful to talk to. Now, people just assume you always want to call up your best friend and talk for hours at a time. No, you want to come on here, always got something else to say. Nope. You need to learn how to take notes and be quiet in order to learn how to aid what you're learning and then apply it to your own life so that you can scale your own business and stop being so quick to down put somebody else around you. That's where you fail. And every time you fail, it's only going to attract more of it. Law of attraction, manifesting the things that you don't want is dumb. Manifesting things that are going to get you in trouble is not intelligent. So if you are an intelligence, why are you acting this way? You need to figure out what to do so that you can actually make your life what you will it to be. Now, if it's to be dumb, and then like I said, this is not for you. So positive, dress up, go outside, because therapy, and even if it's virtual, you can still put on whatever that you wanted to have do, whatever look you may have wanted to have made, so that you can actually present and show up and then step up in that persona. Okay, everybody can't do it. That's fine. Then go ahead on about your business. Again, thank you for that in advance. And so when you are really figuring out how you want to dress, speak, I have a few other videos coming up on that soon. So if you want to stay tuned, great. If you want to move head on, that's great too. If I see you then, fine, whatever, that's so be it too. So when you have those moments and you're thinking about it this way, you're doing yourself a point of position and they're going to aim for you. Let them. Because eventually they'll also aim at themselves. And that's ultimately where you want the aim to go. Okay. So insightful. Lean so much so, because this is where you have to lean at. You have to lean on you so that you can learn about what you want to do. If that's not something you into, you can go ahead on about your business. And please don't come back. I don't want to see nothing else for a little bit. For everybody else that got their problems and issues, you can take that over there. Thank you in advance for that. Very sweet. Okay, and so insightful means that you know what you up to. Insightful means you're not worried about everybody else. Insightful means you took the time out to journal so you know what your thoughts is rocking with. So when you go and talk to somebody, you can just pull out your list. That's how you master what you're thinking. And not necessarily for the person next to you either. No, 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 no. If the people next to you were so quick to put you on, you probably wouldn't even have a need to drop a name to begin with. I'm just saying. So don't shoot the messenger. Don't get no attitude with me. Don't give me the finger and everybody else's bull crap that you done started most likely. So you need to take that up to yourself. And instead, what do? We attack the person that we see. And I'm sorry to say this, but I'm a good fighter at the end of the day. And I hate for someone to have to learn it the hard way. You know what I mean? Because it's ghetto, for one. What's positive about being ghetto? What could it be? Oh, my name ring bells in the streets. Okay, for being ghetto? I doubt it. I don't believe that. And the truth is, I don't have to either. So if that's not what you're looking to do, why you go ahead on and keep your name out everybody else's presence, then you'll reap that. That's your choice and decision to make. And I'm not going to be able to go ahead on and say, oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Why? You can't even keep your finger down. So check yourself before you come over here and try to check somebody else. Please and thank you in advance for that. Okay. Anyway, so also, therapy is insightful because it also doesn't teach you just about yourself, but it also teaches you about others and just the bigger world at large. Now, you know how people can say, well, if you around so and so, then that's whatever else, that's fine. But if that's somebody else that's around and you take that as an opportunity to allow yourself to figure out, okay, this person is over here and doing something else. And then pay attention to that. And if you want, take a note or two. Take a moment to not even just journal what it is that you want to be able to get whatever done and behind based off whatever somebody else has done. Because trust me, they do things left and right. They do things to the point where they think it's cute. They only doing things because they want this dude's attention. They doing things that they see that you got it. So now that you gonna come into their forefront, so they want to go ahead on and attack you. They get to these points where they're so desperate in their persona. They feel like, oh, okay, you going to school. Well, I didn't. Oh, let's attack them. Oh yeah, okay. They smile is big and bright, but ours isn't. So let's attack them. Oh yeah, they may have a moment to accomplish their dream. Oh, but guess what? We didn't. So what? Let's attack them. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's a dumb person that I never wish to emulate. I never wish to even have you in my presence 6 feet. Yeah, COVID, 6 feet. Give me 6 feet. And when you do that, cool. But if you go against the grain and continuously disrespect someone, we're going to have a problem. And the last I heard, the less problems is better. Because adding to things unnecessarily, shout out to Kaiser Permanente, is dumb. That means that you're dumb. We're dumb. We are stupid. We are acting in accordance with the law of dumbness. And last I check, when I look in the mirror, I see something made to precision. So that's intelligence. And I don't even need to say it because you already know. And yet and still you still choose to try to attack. Now that mentality says how you learn about others. That they have spirits that are willing to attack. And like I mentioned before, learn how to fight. Oh, yes, baby. Learn to whoop that ass when necessary. Because they coming for you and you best believe you better be prepared to whoop that ass because they are. And matter of fact, I'll give you one more. As many times as people has chosen to do like this, you didn't earn the ass whooping. How about that? Now I'm going to let you figure out what the key word is. I ain't even going to tell you. So that's what I mean by being insightful. You have to learn how to have that mentality. And matter of fact, do it for you. And people are so quick, this is my best friend. Your own best friend. Do it for them. Okay? Yeah. Please do it. I want you to do it. Okay? And not because I need you to do whatever else. And not because I don't need nobody. I need no one. Okay? I'm perfectly fine on my own 2 feet. People do that walking challenge. No, I'm good. It looked nice, but I'm good. Okay? Ain't nobody alive that's going to view said such and do a single thing. Okay? So, yeah, if you thought that, please go ahead on about your business. Thank you in advance for that. And then that allows you to experience the world at large. Everybody out there challenging, dancing up a storm, walking all you walking. Let me walk it out. We walk it out. In therapy, did you walk everything out? Did you crunk it on? Did you got swerve on the next dude next to you? No. We live in this fantasy world, I tell you. And it's so dangerous. And you want to know why it's dangerous? It's dangerous because we believe it's an appropriate thing to do. People think it's cute to want to put your hands on another female because they have something else and you envy it. That's dumb. This is for people who want to experience what flow is, not people who wish to want to make things harder for somebody else. This is not the type of environment for that. Those entities who wish to do those things are eventually going to reap it. And I hope you don't look to nobody else to kind of figure out anything other than go ahead and figuring out how you're going to get what that was done that you spewing out to somewhere else. And that's for you. That's for your own sake at the end of the day. And that's 100. That is where the insight is. It's for you. It's not to gain views. It's not to have everybody in the comments. It's not to make people happy when all they want to do is see you down and out. That's not what the point is. The point is to trust in laws to handle what is done. That's where your insight lies at when you go to therapy. When you speak about the issues that people have caused you in a spirit of intent, that's where your insight lies. Not to let them figure out you got to flex. The flex is fine, but the flex is for you. It's not for somebody else. That's where we always have these issues at. I've never been to a school where women have been more envious of another female in my life. It's even in the social media platforms. It still is. That's why I'm not really on most. I'm on a very small amount, very few of them. You can follow us there if you like: Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and YouTube. And that's it. You're not going to find me on, let's see, what you got? Twitch, TikTok, Vimo, Twitter, X, Elon, like Facebook. Because of you all, because of people. And people are like, oh yeah, have a fondness for people. Oh, love them so. Yeah, until they show you otherwise. That's where your insight comes from. But you have to take out the time. Everybody not going to do that. That's why it's not about the views. It's not about the likes or the comments. Tiger says this, and I didn't even realize that his mother had went ahead on and just kicked the bucket, honey. She gone. But he's always talking about, yeah, you in the comments. Damn, well, maybe so you was. Talking, saying something off the side of your neck that you weren't supposed to have been saying, like that person who went ahead and do what you do. And now it's so crickety, can't nobody say a single word. It's amazing. But yet you had all the time in the world to say, go ahead about your mouth what you did. It's so dumb. And so RIP to Tiger's mother, whatever, and Nari, whatever you say his whole real name. I'm sorry that your mom has passed away. She looks young and healthy, so I'm kind of like, wow, okay, well, what's really the reason? So that's definitely some sad news there. He's not with anybody in particular speaking, even though you got these kids. So these girls is crazy. And then, you have the BM who's constantly looking, chasing the next big thing, the views and the clout. So you want another interview. Oh, you want to co-parent TikTok and about whoever else that you done went ahead on and opened your legs with and did the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dues of having a child with this one and that one because they got the clout and the views. And yet, I want to have a come to find Jesus moment. Oh, okay. Well, did you when you was doing all the things that you was up to when you was trying to find the clout daddy? No. And the answer is true is no. And we don't want to hear the truth. We don't want answers that are geared in an insightful manner. We want what feels good. We want the quick shortcuts. That's why most of us are unsuccessfully living our lives. That's why everybody normally cannot experience success in a high manner, because it takes quite a bit of work and everybody just is not willing to put it in. And it's just really that simple. It's as simple as that at the end of the day. And why would I want somebody that's not even really willing? I don't to even show up and put in the work. Nobody's going to want to eventually be around that. And that's where the insight lies. I need somebody that's really going to figure out how to do this thing. And do it to the point where people take notice. That's the type of do it that has to be. Okay. Not constantly trying to figure out how to get your next view so everybody can go ahead on and tune into whatever it is that they're thinking about, when half the time everybody else's lives that's tuning in is jacked up from shooter to the tootie. Because half of the time they mostly the ones who going like that. So they don't have no time to go ahead on and entertain successful thoughts. They already got a full-time job hating, running around the streets. Here in Ohio, we have some people who like to run the RTVs through the neighborhoods and cause all of this loudness and kind of sort of go back and forth with authority figures. Now I don't know if you just do not have a I don't know, like ability to maintain or whatever. So you just can't really let this vibe of destruction go head on and kind of sort of cease to do whatever else. And so you continuously want to go head on and like just, it's so silly. Like personally speaking, quiet is really a sign. Okay. Can you imagine RTV? And so for everybody who's constantly, having something to say that's derogatory, just know, I'm coming for you too. And I'm not gonna say that I'm coming to you for you, whatever, with a vengeance. I'm not gonna say all of that. I don't need to. But just know that if you ever did anything that's derogatory, I'm coming. Okay? And truth be told, somebody else may get to you, truth be before anything else, because of the simple fact of law of attraction. You did something to somebody else, they might have been quicker, which meant less really willing. And you can't get mad at everybody else for what you did. It doesn't work that way. No matter what you say, no matter what you do. So, anywho, I'm gonna give you these Q2 goals. So for Instagram, y'all can follow us on there if you want to. You can learn about those on there. If you want to just know what these are for YouTube, I'm trying, I guess, to do lives every Monday and Thursday in particular. Well, let's double check. Okay, so let's do Thursday. Okay, so Thursday and Monday. Next Monday will be the next one. So that'll be, it looks like 7th. So let's do. So that's one there. And then the next one I want to do was 10K subscribers. So make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. This is not for everybody though. Like, I'm just not even going to fake the funk with you. If you're really looking to boss up your life and figure out how to change your frame of mind with that glowing, smoky, pretty, dewy glow, then yeah, definitely subscribe and follow so you can continuously figure out everything that's going on. That's what I want you to do. Okay. All right. Now, so we look forward to that. And if it's 10,000 of y'all, cool. If we can handle that and do that, then, I'm happy to have you here. That's just what it is. So I definitely want to do that. I definitely want y'all to realize there's going to be no other place where you can get this type of content. So you're going to have to realize that you can only come to this particular channel, okay, on YouTube. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. I know you're probably thinking, oh yeah, Alexa's going to do it. Trail Torch Off Road is going to do it. No. No. Okay. So make sure you keep that in mind. Look forward to some of those as well. Now, here's a few things about life that I'm going to give you. It's going to be 4. Forgive, keep distance intentionally. Remember each tear, each problem, each time they leave, they don't come. There is nobody going and live to wait. Just remember all of those things so that you can never have somebody else go hit on and say nothing to you. Okay. Every loud thought, every spilled drink, just, and what you do is you use it as ammo. It's your ammunition. Okay. And so that's really what the whole entire purpose is. And then if you really see that people are not even really even, okay, I'm gonna put that out there like that, then you're gonna go ahead on and wish them the ultimate penalty of their sin. Okay. And that's only if they do not choose the right choice and do things in a certain way and or manner. Then that's when you do number 4. Okay. All right. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. Pew, pew, pew. Because, yeah, sometimes we just a little too bougie for our own good, a little too high sedity. Okay. So, we ain't glowing the way we supposed to be. And that's your fault. Yeah. Anyway, see ya. Make sure. If I'm not really speak to speak, what you doing here for, Bougie? Because you weak. And you know this.